Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd do my labor and delivery story finally for you guys. I know I've been away for a while, but it's hard, adjusting to having a newborn in the house. So what happened was, I hit 39 weeks on July 20th, and that morning I was laying in bed and I woke up. And then I felt this gush of wetness, like when you start your period. I was like, that doesn't feel right. And I was like, oh no. So I get up, and then just more is coming out. And it was clear, and I was like, oh no, my water broke. So I started freaking out. Not really, but I was in shock. And then I went to the bathroom and I put on a little pad and I waited a while. And then I called my husband and I was like, I think my water broke. And then he's like, oh, okay, I'll come home. So then he comes home and I'm sitting up there trying to get all the stuff packed, that little things packed, like a toothbrush and all that little stuff that you use every day that you have to wait to pack. And then I pack up the stuff for my niece so she can go to grandma's house. And then I was like, should I call the doctor now or wait? And then he was like, oh, you should probably wait till noon or something. And I was like, okay, yeah, good idea. But then I started feeling contractions, but it wasn't regular. So I called it 11:30, and then they're like, oh yeah, you should go to the hospital. And so they called the hospital and said, they did be expecting me. And so I guess they waited around for me, but we didn't end up making it to the hospital till I think 2 o'clock. And by then, I was still feeling them here and there. It wasn't very regular. And even before we got to the hospital, we went to Wendy's because I was like, I want one meal before we go in there, since I knew they weren't going to let me eat. And then, oh yeah, I had to drop off my niece too before all that. That's what this all took so long. And so when we go in there and I go into the ER triage, because that's what they do there. They make you alert first before they admit you. And they tested to see if it was my amniotic fluid or not. And it kept coming up that it was not, but they said that I was losing my mucus plug and that might be why it didn't say it, or that it said sometimes there is liquid behind your mucus plug, so when you lose it, that all comes out too. So I'm guessing that's what happened, because my water really didn't break, I guess. And so we're down there for an hour, and then they checked me again to test if there was any trace of amniotic fluid, and there wasn't again, but she said I was 3 centimeters dilated. And then she's like, you need to be 4 to be admitted. So she just let us wait another hour. And then they're check me again. They're like, oh, you're at 4, so you get to be admitted. So I was admitted, and then I had to wait to be moved upstairs to the labor floor. And I think I got up there about 5 or so. And the whole time before I went up there, they could see the contractions on the little monitor. And then when we got upstairs, they just got stronger and stronger, and they started my IV, and they put Pitocin in it, so then like my contractions got even stronger, and I was hurting, and then, but it was still like bearable. And then my husband left to go let the dogs out, you know, because he wanted to do that before I was like really in labor. And good thing he went when he did, because it just got worse and worse and worse. And then they're like, do you want the epidural? And I was like, yeah, but I want to wait for my husband to come back. And plus, the anesthesiologist was busy anyways, because all these people came in and they had to have emergency C-sections, so he wasn't available for me anyways to give me any kind of drugs. Because she even asked me if I just wanted drugs in my IV to like hold me over for getting like an epidural already. But either way, I had to wait. So then my husband, he finally came back about like 7:30ish or so. And by then, like, they were just unbearable. Like, I was dying. I don't know how people do natural birth, but it's not for me. Because I was like, this is crazy. And so I got my epidural, finally. And then it was like heaven after that. But, so I got stuck on the bed, but surprisingly, I could still feel my feet. So I was able to like move while I was in the bed, which was great. I still had some feeling, even though I was still like numb in like my stomach area. Then I met the doctor real quick. He popped in. He actually popped in, I think, right before I got my epidural. So he was like, I'll be back later to check you. And you know, this was like 7 something. And he didn't come back till like 10:30 at night. And he checked me then and he was like, oh, you're 7 centimeters. Which I was shocked. I'm like, wow, I made it to 7 centimeters already. So I was like, oh, good, you know, we're almost there. And then I don't know how often, maybe every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes, the nurse would come in and she'd check the vitals and stuff of the baby. And she kept having me move like side to side, because every time like the baby, I guess he was in distress or something, in each position I was in, like he was not having it. So she just kept monitoring it. And then the doctor came in at like 2, I think, in the morning. After we both were kind of like, no, actually, no, before that, since the baby was like having issues, she gave me an oxygen mask, because it was like, maybe the oxygen will help him. So I was breathing oxygen the whole time for I don't know how long. And my husband fell asleep and he woke up and he saw that I had an oxygen mask on, and the doctor came in, and then the doctor was like, he checked me. And when he checked me that time, when he checked me the first time at 10:30, he actually broke my water when he was checking me. It was crazy. He came like shooting out. And then later when he came to check me again at like 2 something, I hadn't progressed. I was still at 7 centimeters and the baby was in distress. So he was like, you have to have a C-section. And then it just happened all so fast. Like within like 30 minutes, I think I was in the OR, like having my baby. We were both like, what? Like, it went by so quickly. Like, we had no time to even process it. And like, I didn't even have my camera with me because I didn't even bring my bag in yet. And because I didn't even think about it, I was just kind of out of it. And so we only got pictures on my husband's phone of like when they delivered him and he was first out. And so my husband sent me all those pictures. I'll post some of them on this video. Probably at the end. I'm not sure. I'm gonna send them right now. We'll see. Yeah, so he was born July 21st at 4:18 a.m. in the morning. And he was 8 pounds and 1 ounce. And I couldn't believe he was that big. Because they kept saying, you know, and earlier in my pregnancy that he was going to be big. But he was measuring big, like 2 weeks ahead and stuff. And then come to find out when he was born, he was 8 pounds, 1 ounce. I just couldn't believe it. And they said that his face was facing up. And usually babies should be facing down when they're born. Their face should be down. And they said that was probably why I had so much back labor pain. My back was hurting so bad every contraction. They said because he was facing the opposite direction. And in that opposite direction, if I gave birth vaginally to him, it would have even hurt worse to have him. It'd be more likely that I'd have tearing and stuff, or an episiotomy, which would take longer to heal that way. But I mean, I ended up having a C-section, so. And let me tell you, I didn't read up on C-sections this whole time. So I didn't know what to expect or what to do about recovering from one or anything. And now I regret not watching those videos. So if you're planning on having a baby or you're currently pregnant, go watch videos of people that had C-sections and people that had vaginal births. Watch them both. Don't just pick one like I did and expect that was the way my birth was gonna go, because it didn't. And this video, it took a while to even make because I ended up staying in the hospital for 4 days after my C-section. So I went in Thursday afternoon and I didn't get out of the hospital till Monday afternoon. And I was hoping for Sunday. They even thought I was gonna go home Sunday, but then they're like, no, you should stay an extra day. So I ended up staying till Monday. Mainly because I think the baby's weight, he lost a lot of weight. Because like the whole time I was in the hospital, my milk didn't come in because I was breastfeeding. But so he ended up leaving the hospital being like 7 pounds and something ounces. I don't remember how many ounces it was, but it was like 9% under his birth weight. And if he's 10% under his birth weight, they don't let you go home. Like, they make you stay there even longer, or make at least the baby stay there even longer until he gains the weight back. So I had to go to the doctor the next day after I got out of the hospital. We had to go to the pediatrician, and they wanted to check him out again to see how he did one day at home, I guess, and check his weight again. And then I had to go a week, like the Friday after, and they checked him again, his weight again. And I think he was back up to it. Yeah, he was back up to his birth weight. And then, so, yeah. My birth story didn't go as planned. At least I wasn't so like rigid on like, I'm gonna have him vaginally and that's it. You know, like, I'm glad he's here and I'm glad he's healthy and he was delivered safely, no complications, and now I'm just recovering because it's hard having a C-section and recovering from it. And I don't know how people say having C-section, you didn't really deliver your baby yet. Yeah, you did. You feel it afterwards. But anyways, yeah, that's my story. And we're glad to have little Trajan with us. He's such an adorable baby. And he's sleeping right now, otherwise I'd, grab him and show him to you, but pictures will have to do for this video. I'm sure in future videos he'll have to be in the video because he'll be wide awake, but right now he's sleeping. It's great. Anyways, thanks for watching my video, and please like and comment and subscribe so you can continue seeing updates on me and my baby and everything else that goes on in my life. Have a good day. Bye.